welcome to Chairman of the Board. Today we're going to be reviewing the Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Now this is a tile placement game where you'll be buying rooms and gardens and building your very own castle fit for a king. The game takes around an hour and a half to play and accommodates up to 4 players. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about this game is one of my favourite mechanics in any game, and that is this master builder mechanic. Now how this works is each round one player will take the role of the master builder, and they will set a group of tiles out at a number of different prices based on what they think these rooms are worth to the other players. So they've got to be very careful at what they think these tiles are worth to the other players, and also keep one back to what they're willing to spend. But the cool thing is that any money that the other players spend to buy these tiles goes to the master builder. So he has to kind of not underprice them, so the players get a bargain. But he also doesn't want to charge too much so that they don't buy anything, because next round, when they're not the master builder, they won't have any money to spend. So there's this really cool kind of economic system that goes on throughout the game, and it's very, very clever, and I enjoy it immensely. This game has a very nice vibe to it. The game is pretty relaxing to play, and there's not much downtime because you're always watching what other players are doing to make sure you know how to set the prices in the next turn you're the master builder. It's also really kind of engaging and enjoyable to watch your own castle develop in front of your eyes. It really creates this real sense of ownership and almost achievement as you're watching your own castle formulate. It's very, very good fun. I also think there's a very decent level of strategy involved in this game. So at the beginning of the game you're going to be given a number of public objectives, which all the players know, and also a couple of hidden objectives. Now these objectives will kind of dictate what the king wants to see in his castles. For example, he might want a number of gardens, or he might want several square rooms and stuff like that. So you kind of have to decide early in the game what kind of objective you want to go for. Are you going to fight the other players and try to outbid them on getting the rooms that are public? Or are you going to kind of play low-key and stick to your hidden objectives? But also along the way, you're going to have to make some very tough tactical decisions. Perhaps you don't have enough money to buy the rooms you want. Perhaps there's no kind of option up there for you at all. Or even maybe you cannot fit the room you want into your castle. Because spatial awareness is a very big element of this game. There are so many different sizes and styles of tiles that you have to be very careful about the kind of space you leave yourself. And also a lot of the rooms have completion bonuses, meaning that you can maybe get yourself another turn or maybe another hidden objective. So you also have to consider those completion bonuses when you pick up a tile. There are so many kind of levels of tactics and levels of strategy that go into this. So there are loads of kind of tough decisions you have to make along the way. Now, despite all those variables, the game is actually very simple to play and flows very nicely. I mean, I have had kind of a few teething issues when teaching this to casual players, but after a few rounds they've kind of got on board and know what they're doing. It's one of those games where kind of the rules book makes it out to be more complicated than it actually is. I really enjoy that the player interaction is indirect. No one's going to be destroying what you've made or kind of attacking you in any way at all. The interaction really lies in that master builder mechanic. How can I set these prices to get the most money as possible? How can I kind of keep certain tiles away from certain players by overpricing them, or what do I reserve for myself? That kind of creates a very nice vibe. It's no confrontation, there's nothing like that. It's basically, my castle's nicer than yours, I'm going to stop you from having that. That all kind of facilitates a very nice atmosphere of a game, one that I personally enjoy a lot. Now, at its core, the Castles of Mad King Ludwig is pretty abstract, but I think the designers have done a very good job of incorporating as much theme as possible. For example, if you have a very loud room, such as a music room, you'll get negative points if you place that adjacent to sleeping quarters. Or if you maybe have a big dining room, you'll get bonus points if you place connecting food rooms. So I love that kind of attention to detail, and it makes sense. And obviously this was actually based on a real king, so there was actually a King Ludwig who used to build these mad castles. And I really like that about this game. Yes, it's abstract, but it's definitely not a stretch to think this is actually what this game is built upon. I think the theming is very well done considering the kind of actual nature of the game itself. And also, as the game progresses, you really do become attached to your castle. You kind of imagine what it's like to live there. Would the king be happy to do this? Does your castle look nice? I mean, you're going to be boasting about how nice your castle is and slating your opponents about how crap theirs looks. It's really good fun, and it's not a stretch to think you are actually building castles. Now, as you can see, the components aren't overly inspiring, but they're of a pretty good quality and they're a great size, so everyone's going to have plenty of space to build their own castle. The cards involved are pretty bland and they're small, but they don't get handled much, so it's not really a huge issue in this game. Overall, the components are very functional, and they do the job. But what I have to kind of give a lot of credit for is that every room is unique. There are no double rooms at all, so that's great. There are a lot of rooms involved, all different sizes. As you can see, you've got your big circles, your small circles, you've got squares, you've got bigger squares. There is really loads to choose from, and the fact, the fact they're all unique is really, really good. In terms of replayability, I think it's very good. Every game you're going to see different rooms pop up, you're going to get different favours each time, you're going to pull off different combos. So in that respect, you're going to get a lot of mileage out of your game. I also think that each time you play this, you're going to get slightly better at it, and I personally like games that you can progress at and get better at, so I have no kind of faults in that respect. I would eventually like to see kind of more rooms maybe added to the game. I know there is an expansion already, but it has kind of loads of different modules. I would like to just get a kind of room expansion on its own, but at this point I'm nowhere near kind of exhausting this game at all. In conclusion, The Castles of Mad King Ludwig is an absolutely phenomenal game. I absolutely love it. My gaming group loves it, and we will never turn a game of this down. The Master Builder mechanic is ingenious, and I think that really kind of takes this game to the next level. There are lots of different kind of options to try. The game doesn't outstay its welcome. It really is hard to find fault with this at all. I really couldn't recommend it enough. So overall, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed putting this one together. If you've enjoyed, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, and also check out my other videos. For everyone else, I will see you next time.